What is going on, 5'9" gamers? It's me Natsu here, and today we have a somewhat interesting thing I wanted to present today. So we have been seeing a lot of like discussion about this new Goku slash Gohan unit, and I personally seen that many people are actually underwhelmed by the Goku portion of this unit. They feel that his performance is unimpressive. And I've been seeing a lot of people, in my personal opinion, underrate the unit overall just because of the Goku. So I kind of want to discuss about this today and, talk about some changes we personally did make to this unit. Obviously, I said we because I am not alone. Today, I am joined by none other than Gale right here. So say hello to the people.
Hello. How are you guys doing today? No, I'm excited for this one because personally, after using him a little bit and, getting him to a 90% really quickly, surprisingly. I'm liking him a lot, so I'm kind of surprised that people are finding him underwhelming. So looking forward to seeing this discussion, seeing how we could have probably changed him and whatnot. So definitely ready to get into it.
Yeah, I would say, like, just talking about the unit in general, I could see some people's points and where they're coming from. I think the biggest issue that people are having with the unit is the fact that his dodge doesn't activate until after he super attacks. Now, the thing about that is I personally don't see that as too big of an issue. Obviously, it would be ideal if he could dodge in the first slot, right, before he attacks. However, the thing about this Goku is that he gets a ton of his attack and defense when attacking. He gets, again, 59% on super attack. Then he gets the 30% on his super attack effects. So, because of that, many units nowadays get tons of defense on super attack already. But because of that, I would never really saw him as like a slot 1 unit, like the Gohan portion of this card, right? So I didn't really mind his dodge being like in the second or third slot mostly, right? Especially also considering he has a stun chance too. I think he's definitely like in a similar-ish idea to STR Super Vegeta, where you want him to be in second or third slot so you could super attack first, right? But let me know what you think, Gail. I mean, I know that you also kind of agree with that point.
Yeah, I like Goku quite a bit. I mean, I personally feel like, yeah, he's not meant to necessarily be a slot 1 unit because he always gets that super on, or sorry, the dodge on super. You're probably going to place him in that second slot no matter what. I feel especially, just to get that, just to keep that supers going, plus obviously get that evasion chance once he supers. A lot of people nowadays, the problem is a lot of people perceive every unit should either be slot 1 or slot 3. People forget that slot 2 is a slot that also exists, and you can easily place him in the middle, and then you can put your more defensive unit in slot 1, and then obviously the floater in slot 3, and that'll operate. The only times you'd want Goku in that first slot is, let's say your enemy is close to, dying. You'll want to put Goku in that first slot so he can get the super, so that he can get into Gohan faster, basically. So that's my personal take on it. I think he's fine as is, but, people have their perspectives on it. Everybody wants the unit to do pretty much everything in one go, so we can try and make something like that happen as well. That's not an issue, but I personally prefer, I still like Goku the way he is, to be quite honest.
I do agree, right? And we did, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, we did actually make some changes to the Goku. So we'll go ahead and kind of read it out. It was mostly me who worked on the changes, right? But I did discuss it with Gale, right? And we took a look into it, made some adjustments based on what he thought, what I thought. And we kind of came together with this idea to kind of buff the Goku in a sense compared to what I feel like he could have been. I definitely think that although he's good, he definitely, again, can use a little more push. And I definitely understand people's complaints. Overall, I get where they're coming from at the very least, right? So the first thing I actually did make right here is something that you may not really be expecting. Not many people are talking about. It's his leader skill. I think that it's a little disappointing that his leader skill itself, the 30% extra buff, which, is a 200% portion, doesn't really include many new units to it, right? So right now, currently, he does give Super Saiyans or Goku Family Key 3 170%. Then he gets the additional 30% to characters in the, I believe it's the Android Cell Saga category, right?
Yes.
So because of
Yep.
that, like there's already a bunch of units that already have 200% based on being, beyond Super Saiyan and Kamehameha, stuff like that from like, the year 7 and stuff like that. Say like, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I'll just all Super Saiyan 2 Gohans as an example, right? So what I did is I changed that to actually being entrusted will. So again, it's the first two categories are the same, but I made the change to entrusted will. The reason why is because I feel like it gives some units that aren't actually on the 200% leader skill some actually new buffs, new units, more new units I feel like could be on there. For example, Adro Trunks would still be on there, a Namek Goku will be on there, the Tech Super Saiyan 2 LR Gohan, LR UI Goku, even LR Bardock would get another 200% leader skill, right? There's a Tech Ultimate Gohan, right? Even SDL Ultimate Gohan, those who don't have 200%, right? I think there's different units I would prefer to get with each leader skill as long as possible, right? Rather than the same group of units multiple times, like we saw with, all these space traveling warrior characters that got like 3 leader skills in a row. They got like new ones.
Yep.
Like Grady Vegeta, he got like 3 200% in a row, right?
Yeah, that's one thing I feel like they really need to start doing, and this was something I kind of feared the moment Vegeta got his second one, and Kaioken Goku still hasn't gotten his own, he doesn't even have it, right? Because Raditz doesn't give it to him either. So yeah, like you see Vegeta getting 3 in a row, and then Kaioken Goku, who came out at the same time as him, hasn't still gotten his 200% leader skill.
Actually,
I don't know if it's them being scared of giving certain units 200% leader skills, like Tech Ultimate Gohan. You mentioned him as well, right? But in all honesty, they need to start doing it, because the game isn't supposed to just, I've always said this, Dokkan needs to take an approach where they're not so serious about like how they design a unit and everything, because Dokkan at the end of the day is a collector's game more so than an actual serious game like how Legends is with PvP and stuff, right? So they need to take a much more casual approach, and I feel like they get stressed out over like, oh, is this kid good? We need to undertune these units. Like, I mean, we've complained about Prime Battle Vegeta being undertuned, and you've seen other units that have released in the last couple of months where we can easily say that they've undertuned this unit. So they need to start being a little bit more free. And yeah, this is another case of where it's like, why Android/Cell Saga? I mean, I don't mind it necessarily, because I feel like recently we've gotten so many units, and plus we will get units. I mean, there are people suggesting, the part 2 LR could be another Bye Guys Goku. I'm thinking it's Super Trunks. That'll fit into this leader skill that Goku Gohan has right now. And then we get the LR Gohan easy. That'll be another one. But like, it's such a limited category anyways. We don't get Cell Saga that often. This is the first time we got Cell Saga after 2 years. So for me, I would have preferred the Entrusted Will for sure, because it's just a much more broader category and stuff. Alright, now we go on to the Super Attack effect, of course. And this is where I don't think there was many changes necessary, but Minato wanted to make this one slight change, and that is he wanted to go for a greatly raises defense for 1 turn instead of just the raises defense for 1 turn. The stack for attack remains, and then of course the high chance to stun also remains. So Minato, tell us, why did you want to go for the greatly raises defense over just the raises defense?
I think I went for the greatly raises defense just because, his defense stats are pretty solid, especially once fully built up. You're nearing around like, over 400k, even 500k right pulse super attack, which is still very, very strong, right? I just feel like having that little extra oomph just for future sake, right? And allowing him to really get that aging very well. And I feel like, especially in the early transitions of battle, when you don't get many of the dodges off, stuff like that, even against bosses that disable dodging like AJ Broly, right? You could see that a lot more often in the future. Having that greatly raised defense will allow him to even work a lot better in those stages, because this Goku does get a lot of his stats from dodging. So because of that, I think it's a good safeguard just for him to age better even against those specific bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the greatly raises defense, and it just adds more to him, and especially in case you don't get that evasion, getting that extra stack will be nice. It's an extra 20%. It's not like it's a huge jump over, but it will just secure him a little bit more in the event he isn't capable of dodging, and we've seen units that have dodge but don't have defense, and that can become a bit of a problem in events more often than not. UI
UI
Goku.
Goku.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I like this. I actually like the change personally. You know, anything that improves it is fine for me. I think it's fine right now as well. I mean, you said you get 400 to 500k right now, but anything better, you know, always helps. Always helps. You want to tackle the passive skill, Minato?
Yeah, and I want to point out when I said that, I meant like the rainbow level. You know, you guys with your 55,
yeah.
like even me, I guess I have a 55% Goku, right? But like, you know,
Yeah.
you're gonna look at it like 200k starter turn at most, and you're like, what is this
Yep,
guy
yep.
talking about, right? And I get that.
Yep.
But I made two big changes to his passive. I feel like the first thing is, so he does have the high chance to dodge after performing a super attack for the first 5 turns within that same turn, right? I changed that.
Yep.
So just to read out the sections I changed, he now has a high chance to evade enemy attacks and then a high chance to perform an additional super attack for the first 5 turns. So those are both 50% chances. Having that additional super attack chance is very, very helpful for his active skill, where he does want to get 3 super attacks during battle to exchange to Gohan. So having the chance to get that like on turn 3 right away could be very helpful if you're in a pinch, right?
Yep.
Another thing is I still gave him a 30% chance to evade super attacks once he performs a super attack, right? So essentially, once he's at super attacks, he actually gets both of those together, and that's an 80% chance to dodge, which is absurd, right? It sounds really good, and it is very, very powerful, right? But I think that's why it makes him like a slot 3 god, which is why I feel like is intended to him. When he ages in the future, it'll be a really, really strong slot 3 unit. And on top of that, even after this, the 6th turn onward, he does still get a medium chance to evade and a medium chance to do the additional super attack, right? That's really all I changed. Everything else about him is the same in terms of, you know, the attack and defense that he gets for building up with dodging, and then when he gets on super attack, right?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I think that's really, really good. Personally, for me, the major thing that was missing from his kit was the lack of an additional super. I felt otherwise, you know, it's still fine. I feel like people exaggerate the whole, oh yeah, you know, he doesn't dodge when the enemy attacks before him, but like, you know, there are 3 other slots where they attack after you super, so it's kind of okay in that regards. You can put him in slot 2, like I said at the start of the video, right? But I do get the whole notion still, and I understand that perspective entirely. But the major thing I really wanted to add to him, and this is something that we were discussing before the video started, was that we need to give him additional supers, because more so than anything else, that active skill isn't that bad when you get the additionals off, because you're gonna get it around turn 5. And in this situation, if you get the hidden potential additional super as well as this one, you're gonna get it in turn 3, which is amazing, right? So for me, I think this is exactly what we needed it to be. And in regards to the 80% chance to dodge, or the potential chance to dodge after supering, it's a 10% boost over UI Goku. I mean, knowing Dokkan, that'll probably be a jump from like 30% to 50% basically instead. But no, on a real, I think that's fantastic. I really like the changes that Minato made over here, and I think that was all he needed realistically, to be quite honest. I don't feel like anything else would have just been a bit too crazy, you know. And knowing Dokkan, they would never go too crazy, especially after Tech Ultimate Gohan, you know.
Yeah. Tech Gohan definitely made them worry, which, I mean, moving on to Gohan himself, right, post-exchange, we did make like two small changes to him, I think. So what happens is they're scared of guard units, right, and that's understandable. However, guarding only for 3 turns is really, I guess you could think of it as annoying, right? Because if you don't get all 6 guards active, and he doesn't get it for the rest of the battle, essentially, then it just really makes you open. And I think that's kind of like like at that point, but what you have to do to get Gohan out, and I like, you know, say like something, maybe you could take till turn 5, turn 7, right? And then there's a chance that you might not even be able to keep the guard eventually, right? Could be an issue, because by then, let's say you don't get all 6 hits, and then you're like against AJ or Broly and you just die, right? That could be, I think that's just really annoying. And the restricted guard like that is, I think honestly, ideally I would make it so that he does have the guarantee guard just whenever, but we made it 5 turns. because the 5 matches up with, you know, the 5-8 Gohan and stuff, right? I think that's fine. We didn't change anything else except, you know, the great chance to evade enemy Ki Blast and counter. I just made that guaranteed because it's specifically Ki Blast super attacks, right? And it's like, you know, although Ki Blast super attacks are very, very common, like against like, you know, certain enemies like Broly, they can disable evasion, right? And I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of those in the future. So the fact that it's just a chance and it's a specific Ki Blast type, I think that's a little too much, even though he does have the new multiplier.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. The first point I want to obviously talk about is that whole guard thing. The biggest issue that I felt, and this was because I had, the first time I used my Goku Gohan, I had thrown them into the Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, the new one, right? And I realized the one big flaw that could happen, and this is something that can also happen in the red zone with Omega Shenron as well, right? Or Sin Shenron, is if your rotation is locked and you're unable to move Goku Gohan around so that they can actually get hit, you've basically wasted that turn because, you know, you've exchanged into it. Of course, you can save the exchange. That's one really good thing, is that the exchange is an active skill and not forced upon you, right? So that's really good. But if it were to be the case where you did do the exchange and unknowingly you notice that, oh, they're locked now, well then, and you don't get the hits on them, that can be an issue, right? So giving them that extra rotation chance, I suppose, because, you know, they say 5 turns, but you only get 3 opportunities to do it because the in between 2 turns, they're not on rotation, right? So giving them that 5 turns from start of turn is really, really handy because it just gives you that extra chance to get those additional hits on. And yeah, the guaranteed evasion is necessary. I didn't even realize that it was a great chance to evade, and it was also specifically Ki Blast super attacks. I feel like when they're doing something like this in the future, they need to either make it so that it's a great chance to evade all super attacks and then counter, or it needs to be evades all and it can be a specific type and then counters with ferocious power or the tremendous power or whatever you know, multiplier they give them. So for me, I think it's something like they need to do something like that rather than try and, you know, merge 2 RNG chances together effectively, right? Well, what do you think, Minato?
No, again, I agree. I think it's just a bit too much, right? Which is why I did go ahead and make that specific change. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And those are all the changes we made. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below in terms of, you know, what you think potentially could be changed. What we're actually also going to do is we're going to look. We made a tweet on Twitter, which you could reply to that tweet. I'll probably have it pinned in the comments below. And we also do have you could just comment, I guess, below here. Let us know your thoughts on the Goku / Gohan, or even just the units in general. We're gonna make a reaction video based off of what you guys think about the units specifically, different from what we think about the units personally. So feel free to let us know your thoughts to be featured in a future video. But that's basically it. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to, you know, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Support the 5-9 family, you know. And that's pretty much it, Go. Anything last thing to say you would like to? I said that weird. Any last thoughts?
No, I'm good, man. I'm pretty happy with the way we've designed this Goku Gohan, but I'm still happy with the way they made him currently as well. Using him, he's been a lot of fun. Obviously, once I chuck him into the red zone come the anniversary, I'll obviously have more opinions on him. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what you guys think as well in the comment section down below, as well as on Twitter, in regards to both Goku Gohan and Cell, because been seeing a lot of, you know, different opinions for this one. I think this is probably the first time I've seen so many different opinions about these units in regard, like, for the last 3 units that we've gotten, Ginyu, Raditz, and Vegeta have all been somewhat similar, even the anniversary units. This one, it's been a long time since we had so many different opinions, for sure.
I agree, and that's why it's just very interesting to me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Bye-bye.